Hey there, it's Jay here from The Art of Life, and today I want to make a video version of a blog post I posted recently. The title was The 3 Ultimate Life Hacks, and it wasn't really about life hacks, it was about 3 fundamental understandings actually. And I think those understandings are really, really important. They literally changed my life for the better, significantly changed my life, changed the way I viewed everything and myself and other people. And what I found through understanding these was that I couldn't really hold a grudge. I couldn't be angry at other people. I couldn't regret circumstances and feel guilty. It just wasn't possible. They're really, really important fundamental understandings about life. And I'm sharing them on this video because I hope other people will stumble onto them, and I can refer people to them when I'm trying to explain and I don't have time. So let's get started. Understanding number 1 is the understanding that free will doesn't actually exist. I know that sounds a little bit confronting to a lot of people, but I'm serious. Free will does not exist. It's not how the human brain works. Yes, we can say yes or no to certain circumstances that present themselves to us, but whether we say yes or whether we say no or remain neutral is all dictated by our unique belief systems and the priority of our values. So we run into a circumstance, our subconscious analyzes the situation, and then we react or respond accordingly to our unique belief systems. Why does this matter? Well, all the wars, all the anger, the guilt, and the regret in the world, it all comes back to this foundational belief of free will. We're taught it in society that free will exists. Ask any self-help guru, or most, look at religions, they're all talking about free will. I mean, we should feel guilty or be punished rather than examined for our behaviors. I like to give this analogy if you're having trouble understanding the idea that free will doesn't exist, but the human brain functions a little bit like a computer. Based on the level of software that it has, it'll be able to do certain functions and behave certain ways, but it's kind of confined to those understandings or programs. Being angry at yourself or somebody else for the way that they've behaved and assuming they should have acted differently is a little bit like looking at a computer, which is a little bit out of date, it's behind in software, and it can't do the function that you want it to do. And you get angry at the computer because it can't do what you wanted it to do, but really it's impossible for it to do that because it hasn't got the right software and the right hardware. It's insane, really. That's point number 1. Free will doesn't exist. Number 2 is that life is about learning rather than achieving. This is an important one too. We're raised in a society where it's what my teacher, Greg Neville, refers to as an achievement model. We measure ourselves by our achievements. We measure other people as well by their ability to achieve what they've set out to do. And there's another model you can use to look at reality, to look at life. And that's called the wisdom model. The wisdom model is a little bit different because rather than measuring ourselves by our ability to control life and make things go the way we want to go, we measure ourselves by our level of wisdom and understandings. This is really, really important too because things don't always go the way we had planned, and that has nothing to do with our true value in life. Having goals is still really important, but being completely attached to whether or not you succeed in them isn't. So as we go about setting goals, we run into certain experiences. Those experiences add up into lessons and data for us to learn from. That's what it's all about. So it's not about the achievement, it's about growing wisdom. And I'll expand on this in other articles, in other videos. Understanding number 3 is that life doesn't go wrong, can't go wrong. That also might sound a little strange to some people, but what I'm referring to here is that every single thing that happens in your life, there was billions or trillions of little factors involved in about how that came to take place. It's called cause and effect. And if cause and effect is in play, then that means that whatever is happening right now today to you, that was a long time coming. Your life was on a trajectory to run into that certain circumstance. It was going to happen that way. Now, that one is important because people start to feel sometimes like they're off their correct path. They made a wrong decision. and then now they're ended up here, which comes back to point number one, the free will issue. But they feel like things can go this way or that way. Instead of looking at the big picture and seeing cause and effect at play, they understand then, wow, this is what I was always going to run into, and starting to look at, oh wow, well, what am I getting from this experience? Even though it's not what I'd planned or what I'd envisioned happening, how am I learning, how am I growing from this experience? Really important. So this is a brief overview of those topics. You can read the full article on my website, theartoflife.com.au. I'll be expanding on all these topics further in other videos as well. But I just want to conclude here, just finish with a little conclusion. Next time life throws you a curveball, things don't go as planned, I want you to consider these questions just for a moment. Number one, could this situation have been any other way? I want you to really meditate on that. Next time things don't go as planned, think, well, could this really have been any other way? I mean, actually no, there was so many thousands of things involved in how this came to take place. I guess this is how it was always going to be, and I need to be okay with that because that's just how life is. This is reality. Number two, what are the benefits to this situation? It's easy to focus on things that haven't gone our way, but how is the situation helping us grow? How are we learning? How are we improving our level of understanding? Really, really important. And it develops that whole attitude of gratitude. Even when things go pear-shaped sometimes, you can see the beauty, you can see the benefits in the situation. And that just totally changes your life experience. Number three, how is this helping me to grow? How is it helping me to grow? Kind of is tied into the one I just previously mentioned, but really putting a focus on development, life being about the development of wisdom rather than about achievement. Everything is helping us grow. Even more so usually, the challenging experiences, they're all helping us grow. They're all adding up into new understandings about life, improving our view of life. So how is it helping me grow? And then what example am I providing to others, and how can I help in this situation? We tend to get all caught up in our own drama and not realize, for one, the example we're playing or being to other people, the children or the other people present. And how about putting the focus on them? A lot of our stress goes away when we take the focus off me and my goals and think, what about this person? How can I help them? Am I being a good example to these people? Just something to think about. So coming to understand these three fundamental understandings, like I said, changed my life for the better. And I've explained it to a lot of people, and I know it's helped them as well. I'm hoping it'll help you too. Thanks for watching.